We continue the football talk, but we look southward to the National Football League, and Jim Lang's not only Canada's foremost expert on the NFL, he also writes a weekly column at rodpedersen.com. It's up now. Perfect timing to bring him in. How you doing, Jimbo?
I'm good, Rod. How are you doing, boys?
Good. We're doing well. Other than being buried under snow, let's not talk about it. I want to talk about your column, by the way, because it's awesome. And again, it's at rodpedersen.com. It's featured there today. 10 great points from you, 10 things on the NFL. I want to just start with Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, because it's been talked about to death, and I'm personally sick of watching it on the American networks. But I want your take on, you said he's the perfect wrestling heel, and he's kind of given to the NFL and the media. Is that right, to have your reigning MVP doing what he's doing, Jim? What's your take on this?
It may not be right, but every sports needs a bad guy. I remember the other A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, being a player you love to hate for the Yankees. But look at his numbers. I mean, incredible numbers he put up. And he was a player you love to hate. You've seen it with Dennis Rodman in the NBA. You've seen it in every sport. Every sport has, Brad Marchand in the NHL, who's a fantastic player, but everyone hates him. Aaron Rodgers, honestly, it doesn't care what you think. He actually went to his post-game media conference this past weekend after beating the Seahawks and purposely didn't wear his mask to sort of thumb his nose to the NFL and to the NFL media, who are questioning his thoughts and his decisions and his act. And he actually doesn't care, but then he just goes out and plays next-level football. You saw the difference between the Packers with Jordan Love at quarterback and Aaron Rodgers. Well, there is no difference. It's Aaron Rodgers at quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. It's an NFC championship contending team. Without him, they're just another team.
Well, I just wonder, I'm kind of over-debating the vaccine thing and the COVID thing, but I know you're vaxxed, I'm vaxxed, you're pro-health measures. I just don't know that it's a good... You've had health companies in Wisconsin ending their long-standing relationships with Aaron over his stance on this. I can't think the NFL is happy with this at all.
Oh, no. And I don't disagree with you, Rod. I mean, I don't think like the NFL head office in Park Avenue in New York is very happy. They're probably like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, he's the guy on the State Farm commercials. He's one of the faces of the NFL. However, he's also a generational player and a player that other teams love to try to cheer against. I mean, look what happened to Jamal Adams. He does the sort of belt imitation early in the game. And what does Aaron Rodgers do? He goes, oh, you're going to imitate my celebration? We'll see about that. And then ends up beating them and shutting out the Seahawks. So that's why I say he's the ultimate heel. You may hate him, but his abilities to win and beat you are pretty much beyond reproach. And so the NFL may not like it, but quietly, it is good. Sometimes you need that protagonist, the good guy and the bad guy, and someone to cheer against. I mean, that's the same thing with Tom Brady. As much as I like him and respect him, there's no question that a lot of people around the NFL cheer against Tom Brady, want to see him lose because he's had so much success. You know what I mean? Like there's that, hey, I want to cheer against Tom Brady because his life seems so perfect and he's had so much success, and I want to see my team beat him. And that was a big case with Washington. You know, Taylor Heineke playing a great game, and the Washington defense playing a great game and beating the Buccaneers. And that's where that, team, fans from other teams like, yeah, go Washington, beat Tom Brady. Not so much beat the Buccaneers, but beat Tom Brady. And that brings in ratings, and it's good for the interest in the NFL in a perverted sort of way, I must admit. And yes, you're right, Rod. I'm sure the NFL would like him to be fully vaxxed, but there's no question about his appeal to fans, both foe and friend, across the National Football League. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I love your take on that. I really do. And I like the fact that we're getting to know the personalities a little more. Like Tom Brady's more himself than he's ever been. I'm a Tom fan, of course. But yeah, we like to see what the players are like, not robots. But anyways, through reading your column and watching the games, it's very clear to me, like you say, through 10 weeks, here's what my take is of this NFL season. Just when you think you know, you don't know. Whether it's the Dallas Cowboys or the Bucs with their step back or the Rams, what we saw the other night going into San Fran and getting killed. And that's great from an NFL perspective for parity or whatever you want to say, unpredictability.
Oh, I think it's fantastic. And as a matter of fact, I mean, you look ahead to the games this week, and we're getting into crucial time of the season because after this season, it's the NFL triple header for Thanksgiving. Then you get Thanksgiving week, and then you get into December, and it's the race to the playoffs. So we got some, Dallas and Kansas City, Cowboys and Chiefs, potential Super Bowl preview. You don't know. And you don't know what Chiefs or Cowboys team's going to show up. This could be a 35-34 shootout or it could be a blowout either way. I like Colts and Buffalo and the way Carson Wentz and especially Jonathan Taylor, the very underrated running back for the Colts, has been playing against a very good Buffalo Bills team. What kind of game is that going to be? And Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, which Ravens and Lamar Jackson is going to show up in Chicago against a Bears team that we're not sure about, and how good is Justin Fields going to play? So there's a lot of uncertainty, these games coming up this weekend. And I mean, that's where I know you guys were talking about your betregal.net and making picks. I don't know how a dedicated sports gambler make proper picks in the last few weeks in the NFL, because nothing really makes sense at the end of the weekend. You're like, oh, for sure this team will cover or this team will win and with the points in that, and then the complete opposite happens.
Well, yes, but Darren was laughing that his top 5 did not include Baltimore, and he said that you questioned that, and then they go in and get spanked by Miami in Miami. That might be the biggest upset of the year.
It was a big upset, and I think it was interesting for Brian Flores that he put Tua back in, how well Tua played, how well the Dolphins defense played. And I have to think a few teams around the league are going to look at the game film of what the Dolphins did defensively against Lamar Jackson and study it intently, because up until now it's been very difficult to find a way to slow him down because he's so dangerous with his legs and he moves in the pocket so much. And that's the chess game. And this is where coaching and coaches earn their paycheck and earn their stripes. I think about Green Bay last week, and their defensive coaches came up with a brilliant game plan against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. I think about the way Bill Belichick has been coaching with a rookie quarterback and Mac Jones, and how well their defenses have been playing the last few weeks. And the Patriots all of a sudden are like, they're in the playoff race in the AFC. 4 in a row, and people better start paying attention to the way the New England Patriots are playing, and they're getting some healthy players back in the lineup. And Hunter Henry, a quiet free agent signing in the offseason, and he's been a nice compliment to their offense with the Chargers, and he's fit in seamlessly. And at this time of year, there's a number of key teams who could go up or trend down in a real hurry, who are starting to get healthy and get some of their players back. And this is one thing we have to watch over the next few weeks. Teams that get their key players back and get them healthy, look out. That's the case for the Chiefs, because Kyle Long, their outstanding offensive lineman, he's going to be back in a few weeks. Bakhtiari, that outstanding offensive tackle for the Packers, he's going to be back in a few weeks. And having key offensive linemen, a team at this time of year, is a huge boost team in the NFL, especially for the contending teams.
Why did this time go so fast, Jim? Well, you've been broadcasting a long time, Jim. I'm going to tell you, we only got 3 minutes, okay? 2 topics. One, your Raiders. The roof's caved in.
Okay.
How's it feel to be a Raider fan?
It feels very disappointing as it was with everything going on with the automobile accident and everything afterwards. It's been the norm for the Raiders. I mean, they had a lot of positive mojo and they were playing well in September, and people are saying, I'm thinking, wait a sec, I think they got something here. And then the Gruden things happened, and then Ruggs has that horrible incident of impaired driving that, all the charges are pending. I guess he has a virtual court appearance later this week, and it's another with the Raiders. And now you're seeing if they can just hang on. And that's at best, because now they have to start looking ahead to next season, because so much bad has happened right now. Either head coach next year. And Ruggs is done in Las Vegas, so they need another skill offensive player next offseason. So this is where things like this happen in season, and it spirals out of control, and you just can't stop it.
They're telling me we got to go. Jim, next week we'll take apart, if we can, the Cowboys-Chiefs Super Bowl preview, because it should be a dandy.
Okay.
All right, Jim. Thanks for this. Stay safe
boys.
out there, my man. Thanks for the time. Canada's foremost expert on the National Football League, Jim Lang. Give him a follow on Twitter at Jim Lang Sports, and you can read his latest 10 Things NFL column at rodpeterson.com. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching the RP Show on YouTube. And don't forget, we're live daily on YouTube from noon to 2 Eastern. If you like what you see, hit subscribe. And if you like the program, check around for other segments of The Rod Peterson Show here on YouTube.